Everyone is. Great to see you guys. Hello. Wonderful to have you all here. Thank you for being live, those of you who are live. If you're watching the recording, all the information that you get here can be applied on any day of the week, as long as you connect to the gratitude flow and you follow the structure of the gratitude flow once a week on the same weekday. So we're going to dive into all this. I'm going to explain it all. It's the first session, right? It's the first part of the gratitude flow. It consists of 7 steps in 7 weeks. So this is actually a 49-day practice to literally start changing your life, because to change your outer life, you need to work within. There's no other way, right? So the more you purify your emotions and your thoughts, once you purify your emotions and thoughts enough, your outer life starts changing. So we have these small mental breakthroughs until there's a major breakthrough in our outer lives. So again, thank you everybody who's here live, and thank you for watching the recording. So happy Easter for those of you who celebrate Easter and all other beautiful celebrations of religious nature. If you are connected to the Cardinal Method, you know that this is a spiritual modality, right? So regardless of religion, it is about spirituality and spirit. And what I need to say to start saying when it comes to the gratitude flow in all Cardinal Method practices is that everything about the Cardinal Method has been tested and documented before it became public. So with the gratitude flow, it was no different. We published the gratitude flow in the book, Your Cardinal Connections. If you don't have it, it's really easy to get it on Amazon. And the gratitude flow practice is right here on the back of the book, the back cover. So there are 5 theoretical chapters here and 2 practiced chapters. Chapter 6 is about the inner child, and that's the cover of the book. Chapter 7 is the gratitude flow. It's less known by people who know the Cardinal Method. And this is the hand position with the crystal for the gratitude flow that we're going to dive into in this live session and in the next 7 live sessions that we're going to hold together. So the story of the gratitude flow is pretty amazing. I love it. It's a beautiful story because it started on Easter Sunday in 2016. So this book was published on November of 2016. So in March of that year, before the book was published, we had a group, a beta group of 27 people who loved the Cardinal Method, who were there testing the gratitude flow to see how it ripple affected in their lives, how the gratitude flow could improve their lives in some way or another. So we had 27 people, and the email was sent exactly at 6 p.m. on March 27th of 2016. That was Easter Sunday, 6 years ago. So that was the first collective gratitude flow that was ever created. And the feedback was so incredible that I decided to publish the gratitude flow as one of the do-it-yourself practices of the book, Your Cardinal Connections. So any person can do this. It's very simple. And another thing about the Cardinal Method is that it's simple and powerful at the same time. And it creates structure and flow at the same time. So life can happen either in an organized way or in a chaotic way. Flow happens in an organized way. So that's why we create a structure with every Cardinal Method practice. And with the gratitude flow, it's no different. So you're going to understand and see for yourself how simple and powerful it is, but it requires a little bit of discipline so that you respect the structure that we're creating. So what is the structure that I'm talking about? We're going to be together for 49 days. Everyone's going to do the gratitude flow on his or her own timing and experience, but we're going to be creating a fractal, which is a geometric shape of energy that needs to be in divine proportion, following sacred geometry. And the structure that we're going to be creating together in sacred geometry is 7 weeks, once a week on the same weekday. We're going to be doing the gratitude flow practices for 7 minutes. So this is the non-negotiable part, okay? So a lot of people will say, well, okay, I'm going to do the first practice of the gratitude flow on Sunday. Let's say today is Sunday. After we finish this live session, you may want to go do the gratitude flow practice. But if you don't have to do it on a Sunday, if you do it on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, if you're watching the recording on another weekday, whenever you start doing it, pay attention to that weekday. So if you decide to do it on Sunday, first practice on Sunday, the second practice needs to be on the next Sunday. If you forget, it's not going to create the fractal. You can't do the second practice on a Tuesday or a Saturday. You can't anticipate it. You can't postpone it because then you're breaking the structure. Okay. So that's the one little discipline step that needs to be respected. It's a 7-minute practice every week. So it really doesn't take much of your time, right? 7 minutes in a week is really a little bit of time. It's a very small amount of time. But you do need to be diligent about the weekday because you're creating sacred geometry with the fractal. And it's cumulative. So every day when you do it, every week, you're going to start feeling different shifts in your life. And I would love it if you comment on your experience because I'm going to be sharing what happened in my life with you too. When we do the gratitude flow, things start shifting in our minds, in our hearts, and in our outer lives as well, in our relationships. You're going to experience this literally. Thank you, everyone who's here on Instagram and YouTube. I love it. Thank you for your presences. So, the thing about 7, why is it so important? Because in the Cardinal Method, and we do have a whole video on YouTube about this, about sequential numbers and the meaning of each number from 0 to 9, 7 is awakening spirituality within you, awakening a spiritual consciousness in your individuality, in your individual self. So the gratitude flow is about awakening a spiritual consciousness and waking up the energy of your heart. And this is why it's so healing. Why is gratitude so healing for your soul? Because it elevates the vibrations of your lower chakras. It educates your wounded inner child and encourages your wounded inner child to become more mature. It also educates a controlling ego as well. So when the energy travels up to the heart, it's not about being combative in the solar plexus with the ego that's always creating separation and fighting and not trusting anybody. And it's also bringing the energy from the sacral chakra and releasing the grip of the inner child from, you know, the leading leash of your life. Your inner child is not the one who should be ruling your life, right? So when we're grateful, we neutralize all kinds of separation consciousness from the ego and also the wounded inner child's grip and stubbornness and maybe victimhood or martyrdom. So gratitude pivots a lot of energies within you, and you're going to start feeling that alchemy with the gratitude flow. That's what it's designed to do. In the first gratitude flow group that we did 6 years ago, people had amazing, amazing results. And I know that the second time it's going to be just as powerful, possibly more, because now we have more people engaged in the Cardinal Method. We have over 200 people who have taken the Cardinal Method course and became certified as Cardinal Method practitioners. The book has been published since 2016, so a lot more people have done this. And I know this is going to be a very, very powerful vortex. So, all that being said, what we're doing is very simple, but it does require your commitment. And this is a sign of maturity, right? When you commit to do something that's simple, but that requires, as I said, the structure of the gratitude flow. So it's published in the book, Your Cardinal Connections. As I said, it's chapter 7. It's the last chapter of the book. If you have the book, you can look at it and see it in detail. But if you don't have the book, it doesn't matter because you're going to get all the information here in this gratitude flow, in these gratitude flow live sessions that we're going to be doing this Sunday, Easter Sunday on 2022, and also in the next Sundays until May 28th, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to be together every Sunday for a gratitude flow practice. Next week is going to be the second practice. The other week is going to be the third, and we're going to see ourselves shifting together, which is the best part, right? So what we do with the gratitude flow is we do affirmations in most of the practices. One practice is silent, And we're not going to be doing this live together. I'm going to be live with you to explain the practice, and then you're going to do the gratitude flow practice on your own in your own divine timing, and I'm going to explain how it works. So the first thing about the first practice that we're going to start doing whenever you want, it could be today, tonight, this Sunday, or it could be tomorrow or Tuesday. Just remember that if you pick the day of the week, the first day is very important because you're going to choose one weekday and stick to that weekday, and you're going to choose one crystal to do the practice, and you're going to be staying with that crystal for the 49 days. This is testing your inner child's ability to sabotage your discipline, because a lot of people are going to say, they have said before, maybe they'll say it now, can I change crystals every week? It's so much more fun. I want to play with crystals. There is a structure that we need to create. Okay. So remember the non-negotiable parts. There are very few non-negotiable parts in the Cardinal Method, but there are some discipline steps that we need to respect, right? So if you decide to do this on Sunday, do it next Sunday and so forth. If you forget one of the Sundays, go back to the first practice and start a new fractal. Do not try to cheat by doing it. Oh, I forgot 2 days later. No, don't break the fractal. Okay. So this is our commitment to do this together. Second thing, you don't need to do it at the same time. So let's say you start doing it on a Sunday at 8 p.m. The next Sunday, you don't need to do it at 8 p.m. You can do it anytime in the 24 hours of your Sunday. It doesn't matter the time. So again, it's more flexible than a rigid kind of meditation or affirmation practice, right? Just respect the weekday. It could be any time of the day. If you start doing this on a Tuesday at 7 a.m., you're going to do the next practice on the next Tuesday anytime you want. It could be 2 p.m. It doesn't matter. The 24-hour day is flexible, but the day of the week is the structure that's going to create the organization for your life flow. All right. Again, choose a crystal. I'm going to do this in this collective gratitude flow with rose quartz. It's heart shaped. It doesn't have to be any shape. It could be any crystal that you have that you love, any shape. The size is important because it needs to fit your hand. You don't want to do this with a huge crystal, right? That's going to be uncomfortable for you. So choose a size that's reasonable. It's just about using common sense, right? And that fits on your hand like this. All right. And stick to that crystal for the next 7 weeks. Even if you have the temptation to break the fractal by choosing another crystal in the third practice or fourth practice, or doing with a different crystal in each one of the 7 weeks, that is non-negotiable. Remember that. So the first day is important because you're going to pick the day of the week and the crystal and stay with those two things, the day of the week and the crystal, for the 49 days for the 7-week practice. So how does it work? Let's start getting connected to the practice part, which is really easy. It's not hard at all. And again, this is about expanding your spiritual self. So the inner child and the ego may try to convince you that any spiritual practice, not just a gratitude flow, is boring. So you may be doing the affirmation mentally or speaking it out loud for 7 minutes, and you're going to say, oh my God, you may say, this is taking forever. I can't stand this. This is too long. 7 minutes are not too long when we're distracting ourselves. But when we're connecting to a spiritual practice, the ego or the inner child may tempt you into thinking that it's boring, but it isn't. And just remember, this is about honoring your higher self and then allowing your higher self to be the leader of your life, to guide your life, which is what the Cardinal Method is all about anyway, right? So how does it work? Learn the affirmation of that week. So in week 1, the affirmation is all about honoring God. And you can call it life force, source, goddess, whatever makes sense, the vocabulary of your religion or your spirituality, it really doesn't matter. So here in the book, you have all the affirmations, but I will say the affirmations to you in each of our live sessions too, right? So the first week is about honoring God. And the affirmation is, Dear God, thank you for my life. So you're thanking God for your life. And that's it. And you're going to be repeating this for 7 minutes. So you're going to learn the affirmation, Dear God, thank you for my life. You're going to hold the crystal in mandala mudra. It's really easy. Place it on your hand like this, one hand on top of the other, and connect your thumbs like a circle, right? Mandala means circle. And then you're going to rest your hands with the crystal. If you're sitting down on a chair, or maybe you're in lotus position, whatever is comfortable, just allow it and just connect. And doing this in mandala mudra, you're going to put your phone on the timer for 7 minutes. So it's going to ring when the 7 minutes are up. So put the timer for 7 minutes on your phone, hold the crystal in mandala mudra like this, and just repeat the affirmation either out loud or mentally. Dear God, thank you for my life. Dear God, thank you for my life. Dear God, thank you for my life. Keep repeating that for 7 minutes. What you're doing is actually self-hypnotizing, you know? You're creating new neural pathways of light, not only in your brain, but in your consciousness and your soul. And the more you're grateful for your life and you acknowledge God's gift of life to you, the better you're going to feel. And you're going to start changing the way you look at the world. You will stop reacting so much and fighting so much. It's not about avoiding conflict and buying peace at all costs. It's about coming to life, looking at life from a higher self perspective, and speaking with not only confidence and authority for your life, but with a spiritual connection. So that's the first day practice. It's really easy, right? Any time of the day, pick a weekday. Let's say it's Sunday, which is the day we're recording this. But if you're watching the recording on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever feels right for you, just start doing the practice. 7 minutes on your phone, one crystal, whichever crystal. I've done this with citrine, which is the master crystal of self-esteem. For those of you who know our Cardinal Method meditations, right? We have 108 master crystals in the Cardinal Method. I've done this with lapis lazuli as well. Remember, the shape doesn't matter. Just be mindful and just use common sense of the size of the crystal. Clear quartz is the master crystal for anything in the Cardinal Method, right? It is the most important crystal. It's the higher self connection crystal. So you can use clear quartz to any crystal that feels right for you. I'm going to do this with rose quartz right here because it awakens the energy of the heart. Rose quartz is the master crystal for love, unconditional love in the Cardinal Method. So unconditional love for self, for others, for humanity, for all beings. So I'm going to do this with this one, but you can choose whichever crystal you want. Place it in mandala mudra and repeat for 7 minutes. Dear God, thank you for my life. Dear God, thank you for my life. It literally is a mantra. And it is going to create new neural pathways, as I said, in your brain, in your mind. It really is self-hypnotizing, right? That's why we use affirmations in Cardinal Method meditations. There's a reason, a scientific, philosophical reason, and spiritual reason, especially behind all this. And this is it. And I can't now wait to know how this is going to ripple effect in your life. For a week, 7 minutes. Remember, I said the Cardinal Method is simple and powerful, right? 7 minutes are going to be ripple affecting for 7 days in your life until we meet again on the next practice, which is the second practice. It's going to be a live session on Sunday, but you may watch the recording on another day. And then we're going to start a next layer of consciousness with the second affirmation, which addresses a different aspect of our lives. But right now, the focus is on thanking God for our lives. It's the first practice. It's the kickstart of everything. And it's going to be wonderful to know how you felt about it, what your experience was. Maybe you want to keep a diary. When we did the first gratitude flow back in 2016, people would give me feedback. They would write it on their diaries. They would just, be so awed by the expansion that they had. Mental breakthroughs, life breakthroughs, many things happening. So it's going to be the same for you. And it's going to be wonderful when you share it below the video here. I'll be sharing my experience with the gratitude flow as well. So we're going to be connected in this. And I want to thank you so much for your presences here. Please ask any questions you want below the video. You can send us a DM if you're on Instagram. And also on YouTube, there is an email address you can write to if you need to ask any questions. So it's support@paolaranova.com. And it's going to be a wonderful journey. This is so wonderful. The second time we do a collective gratitude flow with the Cardinal Method. Yes, Deb, I'm so excited to start too, and wonderful to know you guys are on this journey with us. So choose your crystal, pick the day of the week that you want to do this, and 7 minutes. It's only a 7-minute practice that will ripple effect for 7 days in your life. And I cannot wait to know how this is going to come out for you. It's going to be so wonderful to know. So thank you again for your presences here. The gratitude flow is flowing from my heart to yours, from the Cardinal Method to the world. Thank you for being part of this path, and we'll be connected. I'll see you guys next week on Sunday at the same time, 6 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Much love to you. See you soon. And throughout the week as well, right? Much love. Bye-bye. Yes.